Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I reported that Denmark was preparing to slaughter 17 million mink because they had allegedly detected the presence of a mutated form of COVID-19. A mutated form, in fact, that has already made its way back from the animals into humans. The zoonotic threat. At least 12 people we read here in Denmark are already known to have been infected by this mutated strain of COVID-19. This could pose a, quote, serious risk to public health. In fact, the UK has already taken the step of establishing a mandatory 2-week quarantine on people coming from Denmark because of this mutated form of COVID-19. So clearly this is something extremely dangerous. We need to be very careful about it, right? They've told us that we need to kill off 17 million animals and end mink farming completely, because if we don't, well, then it just stays there. There's this massive petri dish of dirty, filthy, nasty farms and ranches and animals where viruses could be mutating, and then that means we can't give you the vaccine. That means we don't ever go back to normal. More lockdowns, more death, more suffering, right? We don't want that. So we're going to kill the animals. I hope you're all right with that. Now, this is already really dangerous logic that we could take apart in a number of different ways, but I've received information from individuals on the ground there in Denmark, and thank you for reaching out, that indicates very clearly this entire narrative is complete bullshit. Pardon my French. Now, the plan had been to transport these mink in hermetically sealed biohazard containment units to a location where they could be burned off safely. The reality on the ground, however, is quite different, and it's disgusting in a number of different ways. So brace yourself. These pictures, which were posted to Facebook, show that biocontainment wasn't considered at all. That flatbed trucks were loaded up with thousands of mink bodies and just drove them across town. Bodies were falling off of the trucks and were just left there on the ground, dead mink, presumably mink infected with this new mutation of COVID-19, the most dangerous pandemic ever in history. But never mind that, we're just going to leave these massive trails of blood and dead mink on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to tell you, if this is the most deadly pandemic in history and it's destroyed the world economy, and now we're requiring a quarantine because of this freshly mutated thing, we don't even know anything about the mutation. We read here from the New York Times that there are no published reports on the nature of the mutation. We don't even understand it yet, how it was tested. Virus researchers are very much left in the dark. But never mind that. It's just throw it across the entire town. Just traipse it through every street in Denmark and leave it there. This is ridiculous. This demonstrates very clearly that this has nothing to do with the virus whatsoever. This is what they wanted to do. This is them steamrolling ahead with the end of animal agriculture. This has been something they've wanted to do there for a long time, but only now have this carte blanche thing. We can just do whatever we want and then say the word COVID-19 and people will just go along with it. And this is going on in a number of different vectors by the technocrats right now as they take over our food supply and establish digital currency, take away cash. All of these claims are being made, and the reality on the ground is wholly inconsistent with these claims. And I wanted to get these images out because I want to cut through that narrative and just show that this has nothing to do with the virus. This is just them delivering on their long-stated promises to end animal agriculture and move to a cashless society, and everything that we've heard about the New World Order, Agenda 2030, and the coming dark winter ahead of us. There is also a local politician named Peter Velplund, who went on to conduct multiple radio interviews wherein he said that this mutated form of coronavirus was so dangerous that if it is detected in pets, in cats or dogs, then they would take the step of moving ahead and killing off entire cities worth of domesticated animals as well, delivering on another promise of Agenda 2030, the end of house pets. It's not good for the environment. We've heard about this over and over. Now they have the excuse by which they can just do whatever they want, and they are. And here from the Netherlands is a little bit about animals and COVID-19. Quote, there are known cases of cats and dogs and minks that have been infected with the new coronavirus. Minks now have already been killed off because of a new mutation that we're dragging across town and leaving trails of blood everywhere. But it's very dangerous. Trust me, it's so dangerous we had to kill them and lock you down again. So this is staggering. They're coming for pets. They're taking out the meat supply. They're ending all forms of animal agriculture. And I want to mention that there have already been infections in the mink farms in the United States as well. Here's one in Milwaukee. Taylor County mink farms are under quarantine after more than 5,000 animals perish from COVID-19. And also in Utah, thousands of minks dead in the COVID outbreak. This is all in October. So these are very recent developments. For whatever reason, the mink seems to be their new vector for establishing the zoonotic threat and then setting the stage really to go in and kill off. Now we see it. They're openly telling us, yeah, if we detect it there too, we're going to kill your cat. We're going to kill your dog. If we want to, we're going to go kill your chickens and your pigs, and you're not going to be able to get meat anymore. And all of a sudden, Impossible Burger will be the only game in town, and you'll have to eat the technocrats' food. There's a lot going on here, folks, and I'm going to keep this brief because I covered this yesterday, but just wanted to cut through the lies with these images. They don't care about the virus. That's not what's going on here. They don't care about you. They only care about building their new world order, executing their great reset, and they will drag you now through a dark winter if that's what it takes. Please get this information out there. Please fight these agendas. There is an election going on right now, and the results aren't in yet, but it's between their world and our world. And I'm asking you not to vote for the technocrats, but to instead vote for yourself. Go build the world you want to build, because I refuse to live in these deceptive, I have no words for it at this point. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for sharing this. You can find this report and all my reports on iceagefarmer.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please get off. Go check out bitshoot.com/iceagefarmer and hit the subscribe button there so that we can continue to communicate. If you value this broadcast and the information on it, I would appreciate your help keeping it running. You can find some ways of doing that at iceagefarmer.com/support. For now, folks, let's get the word out about these liars and these thieves who seek to take total control and build a transhumanist technocracy. It's not the world I want to live in. Be well.